Hi, grade sevens. Welcome back to another episode of Math. Today we're going to be talking about what to do now that you have answers to the survey that you sent out yesterday. You'll be turning it into a circle graph today. So what you're going to do first is you're going to go into your Google Drive, which is drive.google.com, and you're going to look for your survey. So when you find your survey and you can search in Drive, I tried searching forms, that didn't work very well. But if it should be either in your recent documents or as I have up here, or just search for what you called your survey. Okay, so we'll double click on it. And you're going to go to the responses section. Now, next to your responses, you should have the number 29. That means that you have 29 responses to your question. So hopefully everybody responded to everybody else's surveys and everybody has 29 responses. So you click on responses there. And then this green thing here that kind of looks like a flag, that's actually the symbol for Google Sheets. I think Sheets is what it's called. So you want to view your responses in Sheets. And when you click on that, it will come up with this. Now, this is a modified version of the Literature Circles survey that I sent out earlier, I guess in March, not this month. But I just took out your email addresses because I am posting this on YouTube as a video. So that's why for me it says copy of. Yours won't say that. Yours will just say whatever you called it, responses. Now, to make a circle graph with a computer is very, very easy, or I'm not sure if you can make them on an iPad. So if you have trouble, then do try and find a laptop or a desktop that you can work on, or a Chromebook. But what you're going to do is you just have to select all of the rows that have the response that you want. Now, if you remember this question survey from a while ago, you'll remember that I had 3 questions, but you only have 1 question. So what you're going to have is you're going to have a timestamp, you're going to have an email addresses, and then you're going to have the answer. So you're going to select all of the answers, and you're going to say insert chart. And because I've done a couple of pie charts already, it gives me a pie chart to start, but yours will probably look more like this. Now, since that is not what we're learning about this term, you do want to change it to a pie chart, or a circle graph is the name we've been calling it. And you want to make sure of a couple of things. One, you want to make sure that you have a title, that you have labels and percentages, and that your graph is easy to see. So as long as you selected the cells that had answers, you don't have to do anything with this data range. That's going to be what you selected. The labels, you want to have labels. Again, it's just going to select that automatically. You want to check this aggregate. Why? Because if you don't, then that happens. And I don't think it's something that we're using right now. Or I think it is something that we're using right now. You don't want to add any values or do any of these things. But then when you go into the customize section, there's a little bit more that's up to you. So the style, you can change the color of the background. That's fine as long as I can see it. You can change the font. It's totally your choice. The chart border color, absolutely your choice. Don't reset the layout. Maximize. This looks better. 3D. Yeah, you can make it 3D if you want. That's fine. Totally your choice. Pie chart. They have these donut holes. I don't think it's particularly useful for us. I would prefer to see the whole circle. Border color. I kind of like that look where it's fine lined on the outside, but it's totally up to you. Slice label, that's an additional label. So as long as you already have labels on the outside, you do not need them on the inside, but if you feel very strongly about it, you can. And then you won't have those if you need to have them. For each individual slice, you can select the color. You can select if you want it broken out. But again, I think for the purposes of this graph, keep it together for me, okay? But you can choose the color, absolutely, and then just go through all the different slices and choose the colors there. The chart and axis titles. Now, some of you, like me, count of what is your first choice. That's not a great title for a graph. So I'm going to change my title to first choice lit circles novels. Lit circle novels. Okay, so you can change it if your title didn't turn out exactly like if you weren't thinking forward to the fact that you're going to be doing this and reading my mind. Um, you can change the title. The font size, as long as it fits on the page and it's not overbearing, that's fine. Title format, all that stuff is good. Is there more? No, that's it. And then the legend, we don't really have a legend because ours are here. But if you did want to have a legend, I think it fits better if it's, if it's not there. Okay, auto, good. Labeled auto, yeah. And then theme default, yeah, those are all fine. Okay, so some choices in here, but then some things to keep as I asked. Now, what are you going to do now that you have this ready to go? Well, you are going to copy the chart and you're going to put it into the Google Doc that is attached to this assignment. So you're going to click over, paste your circle graph here, and you are going to Control V, link to spreadsheet. No, you don't have to do that. You can paste it unlinked. And then so now you've got your circle graph on this paper. Now I'm going to get you to tell me 3 things that you know from looking at your graph. So this can be anything. It can be something about what the most popular choice was or the least popular, or, about half the class liked these 3 novels, whatever, 3 things that you can learn from looking at your circle graph. And if you're not quite sure what kinds of things to say, think about if somebody was asking you questions on a quiz, what would those questions look like? Like if it was me, I am a teacher, so I do ask you questions on quizzes, right? So I might ask, what was the most popular choice? Or what was the least popular choice? Or you could ask about which 3 made up, which 3 novels made up about half of the class's choices. And so for that, I would be looking for like Flush, We All Fall Down, and Pravana's Journey, because you can see that it's like a half kind of thing right here. Or if I asked which 4, then you could give either those 4 or those 4. Anyways, so think about what kinds of questions somebody would ask on a quiz and what kind of questions you would ask on a quiz if you were asking other people. So 3 things you know from looking at your graph. Now, the next question, how many degrees is the angle in your biggest slice and how do you know? Please don't measure it. I want to know mathematically, how do you know? We did learn this in our second circle graph lesson. So the IXL skill there, it's not B12, it's BB12. IXL 7 BB12, or watch the video on drawing circle graphs again. And then again, which is how many degrees is the angle in your smallest slice and how do you know? Again, mathematically. And again, if you don't remember, watch the video again. And then this one is kind of a reflection question. So if you were to ask your question again, what would you do differently? So would it be that you would add more choices, that you would, that there was choices that a lot of people came up with that you didn't think of? Did you think that your question, didn't give you great information for some reason? And what part would you change or what would you do to make it better? Okay, so that's that. And then once you've answered them all, you're going to save it and click submit, and then you're done math for the day. Thanks a lot. If you have any questions, make sure you message me. Bye.